All right. So audio should be good. Yeah, sound should be good. And I'm finished already with distribution, so we can get right into things. As you guys make your way on, make sure that you like and share the video, whatever platform that you're tuned in from. If you're tuning in from Facebook, be sure to follow the TeamAlliance page. If you're tuning in from YouTube, like and share the video, and then subscribe to the channel, and then turn on the little bell notifications. On the TeamAlliance Facebook page, also there's a bell that you turn on after you follow the page. When you turn on these notifications, it will help to ensure that you receive notifications when I go live. What else we got other than that? Twitter. If you're tuning in from Twitter, make sure that you like and share the video and then retweet. All right. And that's pretty much it. All right. So this is Coffee and Charts volume 56. Volume 56. And let me just verify audio is good, right? Y'all can hear me? Let me just make sure that y'all can hear me before I continue. Okay, very good. Thank you. All right, so another historic live training last night. People have already been messaging me telling me that they now have clarity on the vertical perspective and vertical stability. It was a very good live training last night because I already, what I did in advance, I took a while. Like I took actually quite some time to make sure that I would be able to present it in a very concise way. I didn't want there to be any room for misunderstanding or for misinterpretation on your part. So everyone that now is learning the vertical perspective is all on the same page, instead of guessing or wondering or assuming that certain things are what they actually are not. So I wanted to make sure that I was able to present it in a way where everyone could fully understand um, what it is that we're doing exactly without having to wonder about it. So I think that the training last night, it really did that. Pretty concise. And of course, I'll add on additional trainings as I see fit. But for now, I don't really see the need to talk about much else, because what I described in the training last night really clarifies and answers all of the questions that you guys had. You know, like I said, I waited for a while before I even did the training, because I wanted to gather more information about what people were getting confused about, if that makes sense. That way I could address it and eliminate the confusion on the one training. So I believe that I was able to accomplish that on the training last night. It was very good. So for those of you in training, it's in the playlist. It's number 738 in the playlist. It's the most recent live training in the main playlist. All right. So that's the training on vertical stability and crossover continuation. So like I said, if I need to, I'll do additional trainings, but for now, we should be pretty good with that. So watching that, you really will have a full understanding of what the vertical perspective means and how we identify vertical stability in the market. Over the past few hours, the market has had some momentum. It has had like kind of like instances of momentum, and then it would slow down. Like right now, it's in a slower mode at the moment, but we did have a few times where there was some momentum. I know that this was one area where there was momentum around 4 o'clock. No, not 4 o'clock. What am I talking about? 3 o'clock, excuse me. Yeah, this was right around 3 o'clock. Some momentum came in around here. But the market did not position itself for the crossover. So there was nothing to do. What was the last one that I had actually watched? I think it was this one. Yeah, the 310. Yep, the 310. Yeah, so the 310, there was some momentum present, but the 310 didn't set up with the crossover. So, this is what I was explaining yesterday in the training about crossovers. And for anyone that's new, if you have questions, please feel free to ask whatever your questions might be. The platform that we're on, that we're observing the market on, is called NADEX. NADEX is a very powerful trading platform. It allows us to use our skill and ability to interpret the market's movement, and we use that to capitalize on this platform trading specifically binary options. That's the derivative instrument that we trade. NADEX has two other instruments available to trade that are derivatives also. One is called spreads and one is called knockouts. But we trade binary options. And more specifically, we're trading the 5-minute binary option. So we actually have many opportunities available to us to take advantage of when the market decides to present the right behavior and environment for us. All right, so that's key. So in the training last night, for example, like I was talking about the market pivoting. That was a very good clarification for many people, because people have asked questions about that. You know, if there's momentum and then the market sets up in the other direction, is it okay to take that? And when the market is pivoting, we don't want to enter on pivots. We want to enter on continuation. This is for the vertical perspective. See, again, I probably took months to ensure that the full clarity would be there by the time I did the live training. This is why it took me so long to do the live training. I wanted to bring clarity to each aspect of what people would be confused about or have questions about. And I really did that really well. I mean, I got to pat myself on the back for that training last night. Yeah, matter of fact, yeah. That training was fire last night. That training was really good last night. So now you don't have to wonder when you watch the training and then you begin to answer those questions that may have been in your own head. The full clarity comes because the question gets answered from the training. You know, same way that 301 is. 301, you keep repeating it, you get more and more clarity each time that you watch it. So the same thing is going to apply for 738. As you watch it, you'll just get more and more clarity. Stuff that you were asking questions about like for a year. Because remember that when I first started even entering into trades using vertical, this was last year when I did the remaining 10 trades of the 30 trades in 30 days project. And many of y'all remember that because you were around last year, around that time. Those last 10 trades, I did the vertical perspective. However, even I wasn't fully clear on specifically what to make sure we never do that could confuse you. And this is again why it took so much time. Like I'm very particular about being clear because I want to eliminate the possibility of you messing it up. So if I provide full clarity for you, you can't mess it up. That's the whole point. So even when you look at the market and you're like, oh, wow, but look at the market, man. You know, there's this and there's that. Can we do this? Can we enter? If it's like this, it's like, no, we're not going to do that. We're only going to apply this. You see what I'm saying? That way it eliminates you from messing up off of something that you just wanted to do at the time because you felt it would work. Does that make sense? Remember that the whole point of us trading is to be profitable, completely avoiding losses. We're not trying to get into trades. We're actually trying to avoid getting into trades at the wrong time. That's what we're actually doing. Our whole objective is to avoid being in the trade, period, at the wrong time. So this means that you have to spend all of your time waiting for the right time. See? This is where your patience and discipline comes in. Because you need patience and discipline to wait. Patience to wait, discipline not to do anything until you see what we're waiting for. You see? So we ain't gonna, get anxious and feel like the market owes us something just because we haven't been in the trade for a period of time. No. Under no circumstance are we ever to do that. And that's why I always want to make sure we eliminate anything that presents the possibility of a loss. So being in the market at the wrong time always presents the potential for you to lose. That's why we never want to be present at all when it's not the right time. You see? So we're always better off spending our time recognizing the right time and waiting for the right time and not doing anything until the right time. Not looking at trades until the right time. You understand? So the majority of our time is spent waiting for the right time to come to us. Then when the right time comes, we know exactly how to enter into our trades. And at that point, us entering into the trade is the least of our concern. It's not the main concern. We've already taken care of the main concern by waiting for the right time. Does that make sense? That makes a lot of sense. So it's like when we're spending most of our time waiting for the right time, not looking for a trade. Oh, Marcus, this is a good trade. See, we're so far past that. Only folks that are really, really new would ever even ask that question at this point. If you've been in training for any length of time, you just don't ask that question no more. Marcus, this is a good trade. We know that it ain't even about the trade. It's about whether or not the market is presenting the right environment and behavior for us, meaning is now the right time. If a trade were to come to be in that trade, that's always the question. Never is this a good trade. We don't care nothing about trades, to be honest with you, because there's trades all the time. But it's when a trade comes at the wrong time, you got to be aware of that to not be in a trade at that time. You see? So if your focus is on the trades, you'll be in trades at the wrong time. But if your focus is on being in a trade only at the right time, you're only focusing on the right time. You're not focusing on trades. And that's the flip in our psychology that is always going to lead us to be profitable when it's all said and done. That's why this is professional level trading. Yep. Yep. All right, let me see if there's so far I only see one question. So if y'all have questions, feel free to ask. Again, if you're new to the content, if you're new to TeamAlliance, you're new to the channel, you're new to YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, whatever. If you got a question about anything, ask your question. All right. Vertical MRMH with vertical entry as well or no? Vertical MRMH with vertical entry as well. Shawnee, what? Ask that again. I'm not sure what you're asking. I'm not sure what you're asking. I think that you're saying, do you still have the MRMH with the vertical perspective the same way that we do with horizontal? But if that's the question, you still got to elaborate on that. And of course, you're saying yes. You're saying yes to what I asked, or to what I said. I think that you're asking. So all right. So let's be clear again. You're asking, is there an MRMH with vertical? Is that what you're asking? Okay. All right. So that is what he's asking. So we know what MRMH represents in horizontal. MRMH represents basically permission being granted to you to enter the next trade that comes during the right time. Because what makes MRMH is the fact that the market is stable and then a trade setup. MRMH is not MRMH because of the trade. MRMH is MRMH because of the right time. Just so that everybody understands that. So when you apply that same thinking to vertical, all it means is that when you're observing, instead of you entering the first time that you see an actual trade during momentum and stability in the vertical perspective, instead of you entering that first time that you see it, you just observe it. And by observing it and seeing that the market actually presented a trade during momentum and stability, that's the equivalent of you now having permission to enter into the next actual trade that you see set up during momentum and stability. So it's the same exact thing. See, it's all it is a psychological trigger for you where you're waiting to see it manifest as a trade during the right time before you actually enter into the trade setting up. So it's like a way to give yourself confirmation because the market is giving you permission now to be in the next trade if that behavior continues. So in other words, as long as this behavior is still here, when the next trade comes, you can take that trade. That's what MRMH is doing. If MRMH spoke, it would say, as long as this behavior is still present, when you see the next trade set up, you can take that next trade. That's what MRMH represents. So it's like the market giving you permission because the market presented a trade at the right time and you saw it. So if you see a trade set up at the right time, that's permission to enter the next trade that sets up, assuming the right time is still present. Make sense? So that's all it is. Just to clarify whether or not we still do the same thing with vertical. Yes, you can do the same thing with vertical. So your observation is always the key. Take it in your head. Pause. Take the trade in your head. You'll hear me say that repeatedly on 301. You take that in your head, meaning that you observe that and see if that trade sets up and that the time is right. And once you see that, if you took that in your head and you didn't actually take it in your account, that would be the MRMH or the permission. So now when the next trade comes with that same behavior present, you have permission to be in that next trade. That's all MRMH is doing. It's giving you confirmation. To be clear, no horizontal MRMH, then you take a moment. Oh, hell no. All right, so look, all right, hold on. No. I don't even know who would do this. Let me do all the sound effects. No. No. Let's do that again. No. I don't even know who would do this. If you're, they're two different environments altogether. The environment for horizontal is the opposite of the environment for vertical. So there should be absolutely none of that at all. Like, I don't even think to ask these type of questions, but if he's asking that, then that means somebody could potentially think that. And if you're thinking that, no. No, no, no.
What you talking about, Willis?
No. No. Just no. Shit. No, no, no. And I'm going to elaborate on this. Jeff is saying having a clear understanding of stability allows you to see the right time. 301 teaches us stability. That's why horizontal and vertical are the same. Now, yes, vertical and horizontal are the same because they both require stability. Hold on. Both perspectives require stability being present in the market. That's what makes them the same. But the environments are opposite. So in other words, in the horizontal perspective, we want a slow environment. Vertical perspective, we want momentum. They are opposite. So even though they're the same because they both require stability, they are two totally opposite environments. This is why I'm not even asking you, I'm telling you, you will only do one. You're going to pick which one you're going to do. If it's horizontal, that's all you do. If it's vertical, that's all you do. You don't go back and forth, oh, I'm gonna switch back to horizontal. Ain't gonna be none of that. If you tell me that you're doing horizontal, I don't want to see vertical videos from you. And if you tell me that you're doing vertical, I don't want to see horizontal videos from you. Okay? This is for everybody. So whatever you decide, that's what you're going to be doing. Don't let me see you doing other shit that you didn't select to do. I don't want to see both. Oh, I can do both. I'm going to do this and I'm going to show. No, pick one and that's what you're going to do. See? And I have to do this because this is not to have you doing extra stuff. This is only to allow you the option to do a different perspective of the same stuff. Because the bottom line is that we're waiting for stability. That's it. We're not doing nothing else. Stability, stability, stability. That's all we're waiting for. You're either doing it from the horizontal perspective or from the vertical. That's it. One or the other. You ain't doing both. Okay? So just to be clear. There we go. Now let's get Don DeMarco for this. No switching. No switching back and forth, period. Period. I don't want to see videos from you doing vertical if you do horizontal and vice versa. Technically, you couldn't have an MRMH during vertical because phase one. No, you can. Because I just explained this whole thing. I don't know if you was here yet. But the same thing that MRMH is doing in horizontal, the idea is the same in vertical. All it is that a trade is presented at the right time. That's what represents MRMH. We don't have to go into all the technicalities of the way MRMH is broken down in horizontal because we already know what that is. I think I might have mentioned it yesterday during the training. Phase one for vertical is momentum. Phase two is stability. Whoa. Hold on. Come on now. Y'all stay with me. Phase one for vertical is momentum. Phase two for vertical is stability. I explained this whole thing in the training. So in phase two, you're going to have either reversal energy that is too much and you're seeing it during momentum, or you'll have so much momentum present that it stabilizes the movement. And you don't see the reversal energy at all. Or if you see it, it's very little of it. This is what I explained yesterday on the training. So phase 2 for vertical is stability. And if you don't have stability yet, it's because there's still too much reversal energy present. So this is what I clarified yesterday on the training. Excuse me. So if you haven't watched the training yet, make sure that you definitely check it out. Yo, hold on a second. I had to bring some light in here. Getting dark. It's getting dark. All right, so that should be clear. That should be clear. Um, King Smart, you're still in training. If you're still in training, yeah, I've been talking about. Well, even if you're not in training, I've been talking about it on the lives. It's not that I'm teaching a different type of trade. I'm teaching a different perspective of the same thing that we do already. There are two perspectives to see the market from: horizontal and vertical. The reason being, one perspective has a slow environment and the other perspective has momentum. That's it. But the same rules apply as far as stability. So if you're in training already and you don't understand or want to be bothered with vertical, then just stick to horizontal, because that's what you were taught from the gate, out the gate. And listen, if y'all hear me telling y'all that you ain't doing both, you're gonna pick one. Yes, y'all do hear that. Yes. The the fact that I'm even presenting the vertical perspective is just simply because we have evolved. That's it. As you evolve, you elevate in your understanding. So if I'm able to do something, I'm able to explain it, I will. If I can communicate it effectively to someone else, then I will. But it doesn't mean that now you have all these different things you can be doing. That's not what this is for at all. That's not what it's for. Is there a difference between speed and momentum? They they are the same thing um, when it's all said and done. But speed is, let me rephrase it. Fast speed is momentum. The faster the speed of the movement is, the more momentum you have. So it's not that speed is momentum. Faster speeds represents momentum. Just like slow speed. What is slow speed? Right? It's still speed, but it's a slow environment. So I don't want you to confuse speed with momentum. I want you to understand that faster speeds represent momentum because it represents what will create the force or the push ultimately that turns into momentum. Faster speed creates the push. Yo, crazy. All right, so you can have a condition in the market with vertical similar to horizontal dominance of the right behavior. Yes. Yes, this is the whole idea. This is why I say when you see momentum, it will be clear. You'll know when momentum is at a very high level in the market because you'll see the continuation of the larger candles. It won't just be here's a big candle, then it goes back to smaller candles, another big candle, smaller candles. When there's momentum in the market that we want to see, it's just big. It'll be big candles, big moves, big energy. And within that big movement, we're making sure that the reversal energy is not present in the mix of it. You see? So that's why it's the same principle as what you're taught in 301 with the phases. Phase one is environment. So what environment are we waiting to see with vertical? Momentum. Faster speeds. That's still phase one, though, meaning that there's more that we need. Well, we need phase two as well. What's phase two? Stability of the movement. Little to no reversal energy. So that's phase two. We don't want to see reversal energy present with our momentum. Hold on. You're catching this? We do not want to see reversal energy present with our momentum. We want to see so much momentum that it stabilizes the movement, meaning that now phase two is stability present. So you got momentum and stability. And then, of course, phase three would be the way that we're entering into the trade. And we know that we're going to use the crossover. So again, like I said, with the training last night, it's so clear that it's like you just can't, you can't mess it up, period. You just can't mess it up. Can't mess it up. And that's always what I want to have. Market about to close in 2 minutes. That's always what I want to have. I want to have a situation where you know what to observe and wait for or wait to see in the market. And when you see it, you go through the steps. So it's not like, oh, here's a trade. No, we don't do that ever because we're not in trade mode at all. We're looking and we're saying, here's the momentum. Here's the stability with the momentum. Let's see if we get a crossover in that last minute. That's going to be phase three for vertical. See, that's going to be the actual trade that sets up at the right time. So it's just super duper clarity on everything, like really at this point. And that's why if you're going to decide to do one or the other, you're going to stick to whatever you decide. Ain't going to be no flip-flopping. You're going to pick one and you're going to stick to it. I don't want to see videos from you from the perspective that's not yours. If you're not doing vertical, don't show me no vertical videos. My preference right now is vertical. And it's because I'm focusing on vertical the most in order to provide the clarity for y'all. So here we are once again. I'm doing it for you guys. I'm doing it for you guys. There was one of the projects I was doing in between. What I was doing was mixing both. I was doing some horizontal, I was doing some vertical, And I was going to release those, and I might release them individually, like just the individual videos, but I'm not going to release it as a full project. Like, it's not going to be a complete project where it's like there's one thing going on, one mission, because it wasn't one mission. It was a mix. So I might just release those videos intermittently, like here and there, but I don't want to, like, I don't like having a lot going on at the same time. It's like, I need you guys to have a one-track mind. Stop thinking about doing more than one thing. Stop thinking about doing extra shit. You understand? Just because I'm talking about vertical and I'm teaching vertical stability, that don't mean that you got to do it. If you don't understand it, leave it alone. If you like horizontal better, leave it alone. Leave vertical alone. Don't come to vertical at all. Just leave it. It's not for you. What's for you is what you've been learning the whole time. Stick to that. This ain't about, oh, well, we have options. I'm not giving you options. I'm just presenting something that I know. That's it. So you have a choice, but this ain't options. Like, oh, I think I'm going to do horizontal today. Oh, I think I'm going to do vertical next week. No, you're not going to be doing all that. You're going to pick one and you're going to stick to that one that you pick. So pick wise. Whatever you want to do, pick that one. And don't show me nothing else. And see, and this is, so now you see how, and this I know is a fact because David was one of the first ones that was asking me about vertical, even before I even did a training, before I was even like doing anything else pertaining to vertical. When I had talked about it and I mentioned it, he was one of the first ones to come to me. So I realized that some people are more comfortable with it. And if that's you, then the vertical is probably for you. See? And that's it. See? So, and this is also self-awareness. Listen to what he's saying. It's simple for me to see stability in the vertical movement versus the horizontal. And that's fine. That's fine. And that's what I want you to have. I want you to have the ability to choose that because I presented it to you with clarity. See, it's different if you got all these different things you can do and nothing is clear. That's not the case here. Each perspective is clear. So you know exactly what vertical is and you know exactly what horizontal is. So whichever one you decide to go with, you're going to have full clarity on how to observe in the market for it. And that's what is most important. You don't need nothing else. You don't need anything else. Yeah, he definitely likes he definitely likes the vertical. Yep. And there's a few others. I'm not gonna name nobody because who cares? Who cares? Whatever you decide to go with, that's your choice to go with it. But understand, I'm not teaching you something different. I'm just teaching you a different perspective of what we already do. That's all it is. Like just think about everything that I talked about even today is proving that. You still got the same phases. You still got environment that you're dealing with in vertical. You still got behavior that you're dealing with in vertical. And you still have the actual way of entering your trade that you're dealing with vertical. Ain't that the same thing as horizontal? Of course. Same thing. We talked about MRMH. Oh, well, do you have MRMH for vertical? Why not? What does MRMH represent? Permission. Can you apply that to the vertical? Of course. Same thing. But that doesn't mean take the horizontal stuff and then apply it to the vertical stuff. That's not what we're doing. So just so that no one is confused, we're not doing that. That's why I'm glad that Shawnee asked that question. you get MRMH and horizontal and then trying to take a trade with vertical. That doesn't even make any sense. So you're not mixing anything together. They are two separate perspectives altogether. That's why I'm telling you to pick one. And whichever one you pick, that will be your perspective. And that's it. That's it. We're developing professional traders here. We ain't developing clowns. No clowns. All right. So did anyone have any other questions? We're going to wrap it up for the weekend. So this week was very good. We had multiple coffee and charts this week. I think I did 4. Yeah, I think this is the 4th one this week. Yeah. Yeah, Pennywise. All you need is a red balloon. Give him a red balloon. Yeah, so. Yep, but this was a great week. We had the live trainer finally this week. Very, very good. I'm very proud of this body of work this week for sure. A lot of clarity. Oh, and I had the video. I'm gonna be doing that. I'm gonna do it tomorrow. Actually, I'll do that like in the daytime when there's more light, because I wanted to use natural light in the video. So I might do it in the office. Maybe I'll do it in the office. But yeah, I'm gonna do a video talking about my thoughts on the acquisition of crypto.com with NADEX. So basically, crypto.com is buying NADEX for hundreds of millions of dollars. And nothing is going to change with NADEX. Like, they're not even changing the CEO or anything. They're keeping the same staff on and all of that, because all it is basically crypto.com bringing NADEX into the umbrella of crypto.com. And they want to give their US customers access to the NADEX platform. So if you think about it, it's exactly the type of stuff I've been talking about now for a few years. You know, how the business model of NADEX is very powerful, regulated US-based platform, all of that stuff. Now you see what I'm talking about. See? This is what I'm saying. Like, people don't be listening to me, man. People don't be listening. They think I would just be talking, just to talk. Come on, man. Come on. Everything I see in NADEX, clearly another $1 billion company saw the same shit. Let's go. Let's go. But yeah, so I'm doing that video tomorrow. And that's it. That's it. Yep. If you're doing vertical, the market was favorable to you this week. It was totally coursed out. Keep the crossover and all that other stuff. Yeah, there were opportunities for both. See, this is another thing too. I don't want y'all really getting into the whole, oh, well, there more trades for vertical or more trades for horizontal this week. Listen, there's plenty of available trades for both every week. Every week. A lot of it has to do with the timing of when you're observing on the charts. A lot of it has to do with when you're actually observing the market, because the market decides when it wants to present the behavior and environment at the time. Matter of fact, here, let me take a look at something. Let me see something. Let me see how many actual. What's today? The 3rd. So when was November 30th? What day was that? Was that this week? Hey, hold on. Let me pull up this calendar, just so I can have clarity what I'm looking at. Where the calendar at? Wait, is this the calendar? Oh, right here. All right. So let me just go through this week. So this week, November 30th. Yeah. So November 30th was Tuesday. Okay. So Tuesday Tuesday, and then December 1st was Wednesday. So Tuesday and Wednesday, I had trades this week for vertical. There were times I saw the market moving horizontally, and there were trade setups. And I saw that more than I saw vertical this week. Me. Now, let me see the times that I actually was in these two trades. So one trade I was in, the one on the 30th, that was at 5:58 in the morning. So that was 6 a.m. And then the one on the 1st was at 12:37 p.m. So that was 12:40 in the afternoon. Two completely different times that ain't got nothing to do with each other. 6 o'clock in the morning, 12:40 in the afternoon. What does that tell you about what the market does? The market does whatever the hell it wants to do, whenever it wants to. Now, clearly, I was up at 6 o'clock that morning to be able to participate in that trade. And I also was observing the market at 12:40 in the afternoon to be able to participate in that trade. And this was on the 30th and on the 1st of this week. Then yesterday was the 2nd, today's the 3rd. I observed yesterday and I observed today and had no trades. And yesterday I was up early in the morning again, like 4:30, 5 o'clock in the morning, because I usually get up early to wake up my kids to get ready for school. So sometimes I go back to sleep, but if I'm not tired, I'll stay up and observe. I was up early observing, and I observed after they left. So I probably was observing the whole morning yesterday, and I was observing this morning. I was falling asleep though. I ain't gonna front. I was dozing off this morning too. So I was observing, and I observed at night. Like last night after training, I forgot what time exactly I did. I think we probably got off about 12:30 a.m. After training, I observed no trades. So do y'all understand what I'm saying? It's not about, oh, well, how many? There were more trades this with horizontal, more trades with nobody gives a shit. Your job is to do your job. That's it. Let the market decide when. I just showed you the two trades I was in. The times had nothing to do with each other. One was 6 o'clock in the morning. One was 12:40 in the afternoon. Oh, well, Mark, is vertical better in the morning or in the afternoon? I had a trade at both times. What is that telling you? There is no better, best. What's the best time? There is none of that. It's whenever the market decides. That's it. So you have to accept that. Stop thinking that the market is going to give it up at certain times every day. The market ain't on your schedule. Market don't give a shit that you're up. Oh, Jesse is up. Let me give him a trade. No. It don't do it for me. Why is it going to do it for you? But you just focus on doing your job. You focus on doing what you're trained to do. And that's it. That is it. Let me see. Yeah, right, exactly. Plenty of trades in the horizontal perspective this week. Come on now. Come on. Do I think that they will open it up to overseas customers? Probably not, because NADEX is regulated in the U.S. And if you open it up to countries overseas, a lot of these countries overseas have their own regulations. They have their own laws. So unless it's a country with laws similar to U.S. laws, they're not going to do that. Now, NADEX is available in some countries. Like they're available in the UK. Matter of fact, they have a list on the website of countries that they are available in. Y'all can check it out. But again, it's really, I mean, just think about this for a moment. Do you realize how large the U.S. retail trading market is? Just here in the U.S., hundreds of millions of people. That's what is available to a platform like NADEX, a platform like crypto.com, any of these platforms that are providing access to trading, whether it be Forex, crypto, or derivatives, which is what we trade on NADEX. The market in the US is huge already, and it's untapped. But one of the things that I'm going to talk about in the video tomorrow, crypto.com is a global brand. They market globally. And what happens is now you're taking a global brand that is recognized already. They already have recognition. Like people know who they are already. They're also doing, marketing and advertising to expand their brand. As their brand expands, people come into awareness of NADEX also now, because NADEX is going to be under the crypto.com umbrella. Do y'all see what's happening? So everything I've been talking about, remember, y'all know over the past few years, I've been talking about this a lot with NADEX. I'm like, NADEX is incredible, but a lot of people don't know about it. That's going to change. See? So, and the only reason I'm even talking about it is because the more people that come into NADEX to trade, all it does is just open up more liquidity and opportunity for existing traders. So for those of us here already with actual skill, we're going to have plenty of people that there will be to trade against. So when, you're thinking about, oh, I don't know if, there's going to be enough liquidity for me to get a fill. And you don't got to worry about all of that. Like, don't worry about that. I've been telling y'all this for years now. Don't stop worrying about that. People have been beat me in my head about that for years now. They used to think that you couldn't get filled with 50 contracts. The way I found out is I got up to 50 contracts and I'm getting filled. Went up to 100 contracts. I'm getting filled. Went up to 150. Filled. 200. Getting filled. And it's like, oh, shit. Wow. Okay. So I don't really think we have to worry about that. 250 contracts. Filled. 300 contracts. Getting filled. So that's the only reason I'm even talking about it. Skill plus availability, you're going to have opportunities every week pretty much regardless of direction. Yep. And remember, you don't need a lot to make a lot of money each year. 2 trades a week is $250,000 a year. Hold on. Yep. 2 trades a week in position is $250,000 annually. 2 trades a week. One trade a week is more than 6 figures. If you're earning 6 figures, it puts you in the top 10% of income earners in the United States. Just at 6 figures. So I'm just saying. I think $250,000 puts you in the top 5 or 6%, if I'm not mistaken. Excuse me. I think it's the top 6%. I think 5% is over 300,000. But yeah, 2 trades. 2 trades a week. Yeah, Shawnee's up. Let's give him a trade. Crazy. Correct. Right. There's a list on their site. Exactly. Yep. Yeah, and I'm gonna talk about this tomorrow, Jermaine. Yeah, they bought the name rights for the Staples Center. So their name is going to be on that center. It's not going to be the Staples Center no more. It's going to be the crypto.com center. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. I think they spent $700 million to do that, but I'll talk about that tomorrow. Right. Exactly. Good way to start off the conversation at the party. Yep, I agree. Right. I trade derivatives. Yeah, I actually think that now if you talk like that to someone, you'll blow their head away a little bit because they'll be like, derivatives? What's that? And then that makes it easier for them to understand NADEX. Like I don't even say binary options no more. I say derivatives because people understand that derivatives means something big. You understand what I'm saying? There's no association with that word derivatives yet. And hopefully there won't be. I don't think that there will be. When people hear that word, they just think big finance and big money. Yep. All right, y'all. So I'm out, man. I'm out. So I will be doing that video talking about the acquisition tomorrow, and then we'll be back on coffee and charts or live market observation next week, either Sunday night or Monday or whenever. All right. All right, y'all. So this is volume 56, coffee and charts. Yep. All right, y'all. I'll see y'all next week. You know what it is. Deuces.